and another company like that, and everything else like that's the same. But to actually see which one you can make money on quicker, it wouldn't make any sense to keep the costs the same when the costs aren't the same in both games. And I also said if I manage to say, for instance, if I manage to get to the goal with ETS first, it not necessarily means that ETS wins the competition or the challenge, because I streamed ETS before I streamed ATS. Now, if I stream ATS the next day and get to the goal as well, then to me, I'm going to say, well, that's a draw. You can do it on both games, both, no matter what the economy is, and that you can get to your goal quicker on both games. Why'd you change? Oh, I thought the traffic in front of me had actually stopped. I was wondering why that truck changed lanes. If the traffic had stopped. So yeah, so if I definitely finish ATS first before ETS, ATS is one, because that's streamed one day after, so it's always a day behind ETS. So obviously if I get to it on ATS first, I've done it on the equal amounts of streams on both games. ATS wins. ATS is the easiest one to make money on. Otherwise, if it's ETS, then for ATS it would have to be a stream after. So, you know, one more stream. I streamed it one more time or two more times to get to the goal than I did with ETS, then yeah, that would make sense. Because the other thing too is when I'm streaming, there's always going to be different things that happen. I might take an intermission a little bit longer on one than the other, and something might happen in one where I have to go away from the computer and sort something out and then come back out, and where on the other one at that time I was actually doing deliveries and stuff like that. So I think a whole stream difference would make that those situations up a bit, because it's 3.5 hours, you know. But we're a long way off that. Well, actually, for the moment, we're a long way off, aren't we? But once I get up and running, get the money making, get hire people, get more trucks in and stuff like that, and get the money flowing, it's just a matter of buying. I can stick to, once I've got my truck for me, then I'm going to. I'm speeding again. I don't need a ticket. And then I'm gonna just set up a truck, maybe 100 horsepower less, say around a 600 horsepower in ETS or something like that, 650, whatever truck I get, and use that truck as my main fleet truck for everyone else. Same with ATS until I get to my 100 garages. It'd be interesting. I doubt it though. There's no way I'm going to get to $100 million in the bank before I get to 100 garages, is it? Because I'm going to be spending the money to buy the garages anyway. And I've got to remember at the end of this stream to, instead of just completely jumping out of the game, I've got to go back into the main menu and swap over the season mod to change it from spring to summer, because this is the 4th stream on spring, so I'll swap it over to summer and do 4 streams on summer. And I was looking the other day at the website, the guy's website that does those season mods, and he still hasn't updated the winter ones, and I'm starting to get a bit worried. I mean, it's not a biggie. I get to spring, I get to autumn, late autumn, and then I go back to spring. But it would be really good if I can get to like the spring, the summer, then the early autumn, late autumn, and then the winter, and then frosty winter, then back to spring. I'd love to do that, and I just hope it does update, because he's updated it. I think he's pretty much updated everything else for ETS and ATS. So you're gonna no, I don't trust him. You slow down on the left there. Let me in. Why do they do that?
And then exit right.
it's not exactly realistic. If you see a truck, well, I would. If I see a truck coming, I'm going to go, no, I'll let the truck go. I'm not taking the risk. Oh, to the right. I'm not taking the risk. But in this game, they just love pulling out in front of you, thinking you're going to slow down. And you're the ones going faster than they are. You're in a truck, you take longer to slow down. You listening? Yes, yes. You going to do something about it, SCS? Hopefully. Hopefully they do. Hopefully, I mean, tweak the AI a bit better. And stop charging us for accidents that we don't cause. Would also be brilliant. No, watch this. You going to stop? You are, because you got to give way. You aren't going that quick, are you? Oh, have you seen the latest updates for Giants? What am I saying? Update. Latest thing they've put out on the FS22. They're bringing out productions, factory type things. I get the feeling after that, Dave, that Giants, I was talking to this with Smootolini last night actually, because we're looking for a new map. We're going to change the map. I don't know if you were actually at the farming someone's during the weekend, but we're going to change the map. Or did they? Oh, have they? Oh, we're going to have a look at that.
And then exit right.
But yeah, we're going to change the map on the farming thing. Because we can't do what we need to do, as in with the building the contract business up and have employees when with the fields being as they are so close together and the definition of the fields are out. I can't use courseplay to represent hired workers because you've seen what happens and that. So I've been looking at new maps to move to, and we're just going to say, oh, we're moving our business because we're sick of the fact that we can't get anywhere because all the workers are useless around here and stuff, and we're going to sell everything except keep our equipment. And wherever we move to, whatever country it is, we're in Poland at the moment, and actually a couple of the maps I like to look at turned out to be two of them that are right up there. We've got about 4 we're trying to choose from at the moment to actually finalise which one we want to use. But 2 of them in Poland as well. But there's a USA map and an English map and a German map. The German one true. The German one is one I played in FS17. I absolutely loved it, but I didn't get to play it that long because Seasons came out, and that's when Seasons came out I did my 5 maps, spending a year on each one, and then after 3 years changing the map, selling everything off and taking the money over to the new map and rebuilding it from that thing that I do. But I never built towards the end because I got burnt out from Farming Sim, and then 19 came out. I never got to play on that map except for the little bit I did on it, and it was an absolutely beautiful map, amazing map. It's it was done, the mod author actually, it's a map of the farm he grew up on and the area he grew up on in Germany and stuff like that. He's got photos of his family all over the place. It's a real sad story. Unfortunately, he lost his father because he triggered a mine from World War II that was on the farm, and lost his father when he was early age. But there's a photo of him and his father when he was a young kid, and the father there and stuff. But it's an absolutely beautiful map, and it's exactly like the place he lives in, where he grew up in. And I'd love to do that, but I've got a real beautiful American map from Indiana there as well, but I don't know if there's enough fields to do what we need to do. The big fields we can like utilise using 2 or 3 harvesters on one field and all that kind of stuff, and then we can do our working together with the multiplayer stuff and all that. And then the English map is a 4 times map that came out in 15, which I never got a chance to play, which was an extension of a 2 times map which I played in 15 and 17. It was a favourite map of mine from a well-known modder, but I'm keeping this one quiet under my chest, the name of it. But the full-time map has now been released again in 19. And the one that was released in 15 wasn't actually done by the original modder. It was someone that asked the modder if they could do a 4x map of the 2x map one, and the modder said yeah, and then didn't release it. And never came out in 17, like I said. But this time the 4x map is actually done by the map modder himself and a couple other well-known modders, so it's a collaboration. And then I got 2 beautiful Poland maps as well, Polish maps as well. So whatever one we go to, we're taking the vehicles with us, but we're going to decide, like, if we go to the English one, then we're going to say, right, we're going to take this amount of money out of the bank from selling all our properties and stuff for the cost of having them shipped over there. If it's Polish ones, we're just going to say, well, we drove there. It takes a little bit of money out for diesel. Something along those lines. But yeah, I think, as I was saying with Smudo last night, with the farming sim stuff, the things they're coming out with and showing us with the productions, and you got seasons and all that kind of stuff, I'm actually starting to truly believe that Giants really was embarrassed about their release of FS 19, and more focus had a lot to do with that. I think they were angry, and that's why they got sick of hearing people, because people were blaming them, and because they probably didn't know what was going on in the background, so they didn't bother fixing things and hear about it. They just said, well, no, let's concentrate on 22. And especially with the time after all the consoles come out that they're taking to get out. So, well, no, they're not really stealing from modders, because they actually, anything created on GE, for instance, they actually own that. They just don't own the intellectual property, but they have the right they have part, sort of joint ownership or whatever it is, the way it's terms. So they're not really stealing it, people are just agreeing that they can have it. Because they're giving them the choice, otherwise if they weren't giving them the choice, then yeah. But they've always done that though, Dave. I mean, 13, there was like a couple of mods there, and then I think there was like pigs in that were mods. And then next you know, 15 came out with pigs and all these other things, and the same with 17, there was mods that came out that came out all of a sudden standard and 17, and sort of the same with 19 a bit. But I mean, business-wise, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because you're taking code that was done by someone that you haven't paid, who's done all the work for you, and then just tweak it. So, but I think what they're trying to do, from the looks of it, and I really hope to do, could just set us now, because I've always liked the franchise, and 19 was a letdown, and I suppose you're not going to have great releases all the time, but I just think they're really making an effort to like skip a step, go up 2 steps from 19 and 17 on this one. I really do, just to say, hey customers, look, you didn't hear from us, but this is us saying, yeah, we did hear you, we're sorry, we're making sure we're doing it right, because we've got complete control now, we've got the time, we haven't got anyone breathing, any publishers breathing down our necks or anything like that. What do you think of this? We've put the effort in, we've taken the time and everything else like that, so.
Exit. Right.
Yeah, we're only going to have to wait and see for that, aren't we? Time will tell on the release. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to pre-order it now. I went from, nah, I'm not going to bother, to, yeah, I definitely will. What is the time? What's the time? I better put the lights on. It's almost so. Yeah, let's put some lights on so I don't
Keep right, and
get
then
a fine.
exit right.
So yeah, no, I'll definitely have a look at that
Exit right.
map of America. Of course, there'll be a FarmCom coming up soon, so they'll be releasing and throwing out a lot of
At the roundabout.
teasers and little previews of that, and of course it'll be live on their Twitch channel too. And it's like I was saying, it'll be interesting how with the new
Keep right.
new graphics engine they're coming out with, whether or not Bullet Bill will come back. Seriously? I'm in Spain, not France. Stop pulling out in front of me. But mind you, I mean, you know, whole Bullet Bill thing and all that, and the reason why he won't, and some people got all upset because that, you know, apparently it's his job to keep people happy.
Keep right.
But
Turn right.
I mean, he sort of proved his point about the reason why he didn't want to do his last FS17 map that he put out a few months ago. You know, it looks better than any other FS19 map by a long shot. Which is interesting, the fact that he can make a better looking map in 17 than anyone could do in 19.
Keep right.
But one of the maps I'm looking at is got the same feel and the same look as it did in 15 and 17, so it could have been done. It could have been done. He could have done it, I think. Especially when these Bullet Bill and this model know each other
Turn left.
and have worked with each other and stuff like that, so. And also that model of this map that I'm looking at has got a couple other map mods on there, and they definitely weren't even one of like from his old ones. Definitely didn't have the same feel as his 15 and 17 ones, but this one definitely does for sure. Oh, it's giving me the nice easy one this time. So, yeah, it'll be good. I mean, hopefully it does. Hopefully it's a good engine. Hopefully Bullet Bill likes it, because it'd be great to have one of his maps again with the effort that he puts in and stuff like that. So, made it. Get off my truck. It's not even my truck, it's the company's truck, isn't it? I don't own my truck yet. Not as yet. Give me the results now, I'm too impatient. Right. Another $4,000 and we can go shopping. Actually, I run an ad right now. I just realised the time. I've gone right past the hour. So I'll quickly run an ad. Of course, if you subscribe, it won't run for you. If you're not subscribed, it most likely won't run for you either. But hey, I'm going to just try and make myself an extra cent or half a cent by running an ad. So if it does run for you, I'll see when it's finished. Otherwise, I'll see you straight away. Right, ad run. You know, it's always good to make sure you tab back to the right screen. There we go. I don't. Well, they say it's a new engine, no. Technically, an update is a new one because it's different to the old one. I mean, you look at Porsches, right? They all look the same through the years, but apparently there's always a new one come out, even though they look exactly the same as they did 30, 40 years ago. Same shape and everything. They just managed not to. They managed to go around corners a lot easier these days. Right, let's find a job. Now, where did we go to, by the way, Dave? Or anyone out there? We went to, this is where we went to, isn't it? We need to find our way back. There's one to one of our companies there. Have we got one of our, do we have our company here? We don't. Now I've got 2 deliveries to our company, so we're doing a pickup for our company to bring back to one of our companies, and both of them go to the same spot. non-alcoholic beer. Was there any more? That was it, wasn't it? Yep. Right, so I got non-alcoholic beer for 11 grand, or where's the other one? There it is. A reservoir tank for 12 grand. So this will be number one. The other one's number two. So anyone in chat, if you want to let me know which one you would like me to take, either press one for this one or 2 for the other one, and I'll give you 20 seconds starting now. Right, your 20 seconds is up. Plus 10, because I actually gave you 30. I thought, oh, just be. Sorry, Kids Crisis can't pick. You do realise, Dave, that all you need to do was do number 1 or number 2, which was, it would have been a lot quicker than typing in, sorry, Kids Crisis can't pick. That's alright. No one else. Alright, I'll make the choice. I think I'll go with, what is this? Just make sure it's not a Renault. Oh, yep, I'll go with this one. That's a heck of a drive. Actually, no, they both go there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I might as well go one that pays the most. Oh, and I get to buy a truck after this. I get to buy a truck after this. I know. Shocking. I'm not a child. Well, mentally, maybe, but not actual age. Hang on a second. Oh no, this is different. I thought this was the same place I did my first delivery to, which was a different, totally different town. No, let's get going. Same truck though. Right, bumper view for this one. Let me bring up the old side mirrors. Just make sure, I'm sure this is probably just the same set of gear. Yep, it is. Same gear. And we're off. What is the time? It's come up night time. Make sure I've got those lights on. Try my headed.
Turn right.
Not that way, am I?
Turn right. Get ready to turn right.
Right. Get ready to turn right. That always makes me laugh. That get ready to turn right. It's you're driving along. You don't get ready to make a turn. You know a turn's coming up. You don't get into a change your seating position or move the steering wheel closer or anything like that. You just get to the turn and turn. You're not preparing. You're doing. You don't need to prepare. Come on. It always makes me laugh when I hear that. Prepare to turn right. How about?
Keep right. Exit now.
Turn right in 100 meters, like you normally get with the GST? GPS. Oh, okay. You know, I was only saying to give you a bit of stick, Dave. It's a rare opportunity I managed to throw one back at you. Let me have my moment. Even if it wasn't true. Oh, bumper view.
Keep right.
Getting a little close. I've got to remember that they're actually closer than I look in this view. And at least we get to see a lot of the beautiful scenery until we head south. Oh, looks like rainbow. Sorry, I get that from an ad, old ad in New Zealand. It's like a Groundhog Day type ad. Guy keeps going to what we call a dairy, which is it's like a small corner store basically. And no, not that one. Keep an eye on the map. And it's just every time he comes in, it's like day after day the same thing. And the guy keeps going, oh, it looks like rainbow. The guy behind the counter, that is. So every time I say that now, it's just out of habit because I saw that map. Because it's quite a funny map. It's quite a funny ad at the end. So it's one of those ones, you know, that you remember. I couldn't tell you what the product was about at all, which is really weird because. Hang on a second, I just need to cough. Well, it's not really weird. I suppose it makes sense, but we have had a TV show here which was known as Fair Go, and I don't know if it's still going. It was on for years, and it was basically a TV show where they would help consumers out who are having issues or trouble with businesses not giving them money or ripping them off or something like that, and it became quite popular, so they had a good success rate because obviously businesses think, oh, it was, you know, this publicity ain't bad. A lot of people watch this show. But every last episode of the season they would do awards for ads, the best and worst ad award. And one year, like these representatives of the ad company that won the worst ad award, if you could say won it, received the worst ad award, so we just say that, shall we? They asked them what do you think about the fact that you worst ad award, and the guy was actually brilliant when he was with his reply. He said, well, it's fantastic because people know exactly what our ad was about. Because a lot of people who voted for the best ad award, which was a really funny one and normally did, wouldn't say what the product was. They say, oh, it's that ad with this in it. People couldn't remember what the ad was for. So ad agencies loved actually winning the worst ad because they know that people knew what their product was, which is the whole point of their job. I mean, there were some ads that were funny that you knew because they were the same sort of people to do with the same company, so you got used to knowing who they were. Well, Toyota ads, you used to have a guy called Barry Crump who was sort of like a country guy, comedian type deal. Farmer. And he always had take his mate Scotty out, who was from the city and all that, so you had the city farmer type deal going on there. So you always, and most of them were funny. In fact, most Toyota ads are quite funny here. I think Australia sort of get the similar type of ads. We both had the Toyota bugger ad. They'll be using the Toyota. It's always a Toyota pickup because it was to do with the pickup trucks. And also only 80 k's here. Oh, that's annoying. And something they were doing something with the Toyota, and something go wrong. Like, for example, at one point that guy's got a rope tied around a tree stump in the ground, and he goes to pull it, and it pulls out, and the tree stump goes flying into over the truck and into a window through a house and stuff like that. And then they go, oh bugger. And there's whole different things like that. And at the end, this dog, the guy's going off, so he whistles for his dog, gets in the car and drives off, and as the dog's running up to jump on the back of it, the Toyota takes off and he lands in the mud, and you see this dog laying there on the ground, and his little face goes up, you hear a voice go bugger, and you see his mouth move and stuff like that. It's one of those things you have to see the funny side of it, I suppose. Or maybe it's just, you know, New Zealand Australian thing. Another one is a local beer called Tui. They always do good ads. And the slogan's always "Yeah, right." As in to do like you tell someone something and you don't think it's true, so you go, "Oh yeah, right." Sarcastically. And they got some really good billboards around the place. Ooh, actually, see, I just noticed the date today, too. That Jeremy Clarkson farm thing will be coming out when he spent first year he spends on his working on his farm with nothing to do. It was supposed to come out today on the 11th, so I assume it'll actually be tomorrow for me. I'm assuming the 11th is their time, wherever he is, or actually it's Amazon, so it might be US time, not. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Jeremy Clarkson's personality and man who's allergic to labour, running his own farm for the first year. Now we've got 5 hours. Actually, this might turn out perfectly good. Oh, I need to sneak into... Can I... Let me in? Let me in? Let me in, fire truck? Let me in? Let me in? Let me in? Thank you. Oh, I was going to say something before that happened. Me forget. That's going to bug me because I'm going to try and remember what I was about to say. Oh yeah, this might, yeah, 5 hours, yeah, this might work out perfectly. I might actually get there right at the time I go off and make myself a coffee. Okay, see, let me show you how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pull out in front of someone, there you go. Did you notice that every car owner in the vicinity? Notice how I let the truck go first? I'll get the high beams on so I don't forget to do that, but when light comes in so you guys can see a bit better. Because I know it's darker for you on the stream than it is for me because I've got my screen brightness right up. I've got it in game mode, which is just basically a lazy way to put your brightness at 80%.